You know, have you ever wondered what it's really like to be one of the planet's most majestic creatures? I mean, to feel the sun on your back, to search for water, to protect your family out there in the massive African savanna? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're stepping right into the world of an elephant, all thanks to an incredibly detailed simulation.
So, what does it truly take to make it? Turns out it's way more than just finding enough food and water. It's about, navigating this super complex world of social bonds, all the hidden dangers, and just that constant ticking clock of life itself. Let's dive in and see how this simulation breaks it all down for us.
Okay, so our guide on this journey is a simulation called Vie d'éléphant, which basically means an elephant's life. And what it does is pretty amazing. It's designed to give us this unique window into the daily struggles and, the triumphs these incredible animals face right from the moment they're born.
And this thing doesn't just drop you in for like a single day. No way. It covers the entire sweeping arc of an elephant's life. And it all begins, of course, with those very first super vulnerable steps. So the simulation breaks a whole lifetime down into 4 key stages. First up, you're a baby, totally dependent on the herd. Then you grow into a juvenile, where you're kind of learning the ropes. After that, you're an adulte, a full-fledged member of the group. And finally, you reach the senior stage, basically a living library of wisdom and experience. And trust me, each phase brings a whole new set of challenges.
All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts here, because underneath that huge journey of life, there's the daily rhythm of survival, and it's a constant balancing act that really determines everything.
At the absolute core of this simulation are 4 besoins vitaux, which just means vital needs. And these are the big ones you have to manage every single moment: hunger, thirst, energy, and of course, health. In this world, you can't let a single one of these slip. It's just not an option, because the consequences can be immediate and pretty severe. And here's how the simulation makes it all feel real. Think of it almost like a video game status screen. Each of those vital needs, hunger, thirst, energy, and health, has its own bar, and they're constantly changing. It's a total strategic balancing act. You've got to find plants, you've got to find water, you've got to know when to rest, all while keeping an eye on your overall well-being. It basically turns this big abstract idea of survival into clear, concrete goals you have to hit.
But here's a really crucial point. Survival is not a solo mission, not at all. In fact, for an elephant, trying to go it alone is pretty much a death sentence. That's why the simulation puts this huge emphasis on the social dynamics of the herd.
And this really gets to the heart of it. An elephant's well-being, it's not just physical, it's also social and emotional. Every little interaction with the group helps strengthen those social bonds. So a happy, connected elephant is actually a healthier, more resilient one. In this world, the herd is, it's everything.
Of course, just staying with the herd doesn't mean you can stay put. To keep all those needs met, you constantly have to explore. And this creates, that classic risk-reward dilemma. On one hand, the reward could be amazing, a brand new patch of food or a hidden water hole. But the risk? Well, you could waste a ton of precious energy or even worse, stumble right into danger when you're far from the safety of the herd.
And that, right there, brings us to the harsh reality of this world. It doesn't matter how well you're managing your needs or how strong your herd is, the savanna is just filled with unpredictable threats. Survival is never, ever guaranteed. Yeah, the savanna is not always a peaceful place, and the simulation captures this part perfectly. At any moment, that calm, day-to-day rhythm can be completely shattered by some sudden, random event that just changes everything in an instant. So, let's walk through an encounter. Imagine a threat is spotted. Predators are nearby. The simulation immediately kicks into a defense sequence. The whole group reacts, forming that classic protective circle around the young and vulnerable members. Now, the outcome here isn't just random chance. It's actually calculated based on the herd size and its collective experience. So, a small, young herd, they might suffer a loss, but a big, experienced group could drive the danger away, no problem.
And hey, predators are just one piece of this puzzle. The simulation can throw literally anything at you. We're talking a sudden drought, a flash flood, or even something good, like the lucky discovery of a super rare, nutrient-rich plant. The point is, you have to constantly adapt to a world that is very much alive and always changing.
So, when you put all of these pieces together, the life stages, the vital needs, the social bonds, and all those unpredictable events, what you end up with isn't just a game of managing stats. You actually get a dynamic, unfolding story.
And it all feeds into what's called the Système de Morale Dynamique, or the dynamic morale system. This is where everything really connects. Your physical state, your health, hunger, thirst, and energy levels, all of that directly impacts your elephant's overall morale. A well-cared-for elephant isn't just surviving, it's thriving, it's genuinely happy.
And believe me, this isn't some simple system. In total, the simulation is tracking more than 10 different indicators at all times. I mean, everything from age and experience to hunger, thirst, energy, and of course, that all-important morale. It's a complete 30,000-foot view of a single, incredibly complex life.
And the best part is, you get to watch all of this play out, not just for a day or a week, but over many, many simulated years. You get to witness the entire cycle, and you see how the consequences of decisions and random events just echo throughout a lifetime. It's a really powerful way to understand the complex, fragile, and beautiful life of an elephant. And that really brings us to a final thought, doesn't it? This whole simulation boils an elephant's existence down to a dashboard of vital needs. And it kind of makes you wonder, if your life had a status bar, what would it measure? I mean, beyond just health or energy. What are the core needs that truly define your own survival and your own happiness? Definitely something to think about.